so be prepared. Next up is Kobi Katzal, who's Director of Growth at Guesty, and he also happens to be the co-owner of Hapoel Petach Tikva. So very impressive. He's not wearing, I think it's red and white, the Hapoel wear. So he's not wearing that today, but we'll believe him. And do you have a picture for us, Kobi?
So Hapoel Petach Tikva was relegated to the 3rd division in Israel, so we're not successful. It's a fan-based, well, it's a football team, but it's much more than that. But we're failing so far, so I don't want to say that we've been successful to date, but it's a really great project.
You have a lot of potential for growth. You have a lot of potential for growth. Yeah.
I do believe that. And it's a great project, and I'm proud to be part of, because of, you don't choose the football team that you like. You get it from your dad. It's kind of like inherited. So that's about that part. And let's dive in a little bit about what we're doing at Guesty. So thank you for the intro. You also mentioned that we raised funding. So I'm also going to talk a little bit about this in my presentation. So 3 things to adopt and 3 things that you want to continue and drop. So first thing first, what is Guesty? Guesty is an end-to-end solution for professional and short-term property managers. We work in the Airbnb environment in order to simplify it. We are a software that has a lot of features in it that property management companies can save time with and just focus on growth. And we're trying to be a super brand. We did get 50 million Series B funding right now for a total of 110 million so far. And we're aiming high. At a time that travel was low, we saw different trends in the Airbnb environment where local travel spiked up, and we saw business jumping up. So as far as travel comes in, we only see a bright future. And as far as Airbnb industry and the entire software that's related to it, we only see continuing growth. I wanted to simplify things. So this is just one ad that we're using to showcase one feature, which is guest communication. Guesty is targeting people that have lots of listings. So imagine yourself owning 50 apartments or managing 50 apartments on Airbnb, and you need to deal with guest communication. So that's one feature we have, but many others are essential for any person who's managing many apartments on the short-term rental landscape. Skip ahead. I wanted to talk today a little bit about HubSpot. I wanted to show a little bit how we use it and how we use it to achieve growth. I also wanted to keep in mindset that everyone works in a different environment. Some find their target audience on LinkedIn, where most B2B companies do. We also find our target audience on Facebook because the nature of the business is different. So every company have a different target and a different audience, and sometimes things will work for one audience, which will not work for a different company with different targets of audience. I'm here sharing what's working for us and what we're gonna drop, and I want to keep it short because we only have 10 minutes, and I want to share as many results that I can, which officially are real results in terms of this forum. So 3 things to keep on doing in 2021. The first thing I recommend doing is one-to-one marketing. This means truly identifying your accounts and contacts, have planned automated campaigns for them, and flag your activity to the account owners. What this makes is a great connection between sales and marketing. And what happens is that actually salespeople are interested in understanding what marketing activities did work, what touched base with their audience. And having such one-on-one relations really gets the sales and marketing efforts aligned. Making sure you reach your exact target audience. We don't have random people on our list. We have exact people that we manually verified. And this serves as a stepping stone for our ABM plan. So at the end of the day, someone who interacts with ads will be pushed forward and maybe invited to a VIP event, or maybe we see he has more interest. So this is a stepping stone also on our ABM program. So we identify the people. We use HubSpot with dynamic lists. So if people are engaged or aren't there, we take them out. We really take care of those lists because there are limited spaces when you do one-to-one advertising. Now, when we do one-to-one advertising, we actually name the people. We know their budgets, we know their role, we know how much money we want to get out of them in terms of ROI and expectations. So it's very, very much identified with the right persona. But we use Inflow too in order to advertise for them. The concept here is that we have seats. We have one-to-one persons that we can target, but it doesn't mean that all of our database will get identified by Inflow too. They have a ratio of qualification that they meet between 50 to 70% of your prospects or the personas that you identify. And then that's the list that you can target. So you have your own seats. And the most important thing in my perspective is your targets, where our KPI here is impressions. We know the people on those lists. We know their prospects who've had demos or they have more than 50 listings. We know the people themselves. So we just want eyeballs. We want them to see Guesty ads everywhere they go. On top of our marketing activities, on top of everything, we want to make sure that everywhere they go, they see Guesty. But it's what they see which is important also. Now we have a great content team on our Guesty marketing team, and we create testimonials. These testimonials are expensive to create and yet effective in a way that you're not pushing ads. I'm not going to push guides campaigns or download PDF campaigns to those leads. I would rather show them testimonials. I would rather show them quality customers talking about how we contributed to our growth. So it's kind of long. Not sure I'm going to show everything.
Videos are having a hard time playing.
So I would.
The sound, unfortunately.
Okay, so I apologize then. So I'll skip. The idea here is that we're selling super quality testimonials, and that's the idea. Okay. So a second thing that I want to spot on and say to continue doing, and I know we're going to have discussions on it, is online and VIP events. Now, what we're trying to achieve by doing them, and you'll see now, we've done a lot of them. We had more than 10,000 attendees are registered to our events. We created a brand out of it. We call it We Are Guesty. We contributed to our funnels with MQLs, with customers. This is something that we're proud of because it made us the industry leaders. It made us the company that everyone is expecting to hear from and understand what the state of the industry is. So customers of our competitors join our events to learn more. They truly appreciate the insights, and we truly want to take the responsibility of being the thought leader, of leading this industry. And it's a mindset. And we have a great team of people doing events with a lot of resources. Then we also market them with paid acquisition. So videos don't work, but I wanted to show you how we market them. So I'm gonna play, but it's just the ads and the text.
We will be sending these videos to you shortly after the event.
Cool. So it really contributes to our funnel. It was 20% of our total form submission in 2020. It showed a lot of growth in our activities. We became industry leaders. We had lots of panels and many people from different companies joining it. And we also joined other events. We participated in third parties. So we're talking about virtual events. We also have VIP events that we've created. So when talking this spectrum, it's not just digital events joined by other companies. It's being the thought leader and understanding your role in the industry. Last thing I would recommend on doing is contact-based acquisition. This means managing your acquisition via HubSpot to simplify things. At the end of the day, you can see budget spend and you can understand what the cost was for lead, for NQL, for SQL. But it's not only that. It's about real prospect and not numbers. It's about real attribution that you can understand which people came through it. You make the discussion around contact. You talk about his workflow. You discuss which ad he clicked and what form he submitted, because you worked via your acquisition funnel, via real people. So what I would recommend is we always have this discussion about conversions on Facebook and conversions on LinkedIn, and the numbers don't align. And you see 20 here, but you only see 17 here. So what I suggest and what I recommend doing is that what we're doing, which is trust HubSpot, trust the real people number, go with cost per acquisition based on contacts. You have a list, you can send it then to your SDRs, you can send it to your AEs and say, hey, what about this person? What about Stacy? What happened with her? So these are like 3 things. Now I'll try to move forward a bit faster about the 3 things to stop doing in 2021.
Kobi, we've got a question from the crowd. I know we're running short on time, but we do have a question regarding, are you only promoting videos on Info 2 or other types?
We also promote other types of ads, images as well, but we saw that the most impressions that we got and the most traction was using videos. Cool. So 3 things. So I'll do a recap at the end, and I'll try to keep it fast because we only have a few minutes left. So 3 things to stop doing in 2021. Stop gating web content. Now I'm not talking about guides and PDFs. I'm talking about gated web content, where you go online, and when you get to it, you need to unlock your guide or you need to unlock your product webinar, i.e., you read a bit of it and you need to enter your details. Now, we tried it. We think we have premium resource. We have a premium resources section on our homepage. We do write super quality, high-end guides, and that we're very proud of. But in order for them to convert users, they need to work seamlessly as part of the content experience. So web gating is not something that I would still recommend doing. Second thing I wouldn't recommend doing is build SEO projects without a clear conversion strategy. So we built Guestypedia, a section on our website, which is essentially tags and specific terms within the industry that we wanted to rank for, really long tail SEO keywords. And while it has an SEO effect in terms of brand and exposure, when people got to this page, they just had nothing to do, or this leads nowhere. And there's no point in converting people which not necessarily are related to your industry, but you got ranked for a term which can work on different industries. So in that aspect, when we build SEO projects, and we have many SEO projects that we do at Guesty, we first think of the conversion flow and how we get them to our funnel. Lastly, and the last point I would drop, it's not necessarily a drop thing, it's more of a do thing, but dashboards are cool, but don't fall in love with them. Now we have dashboards on Data Studio, we have them on Salesforce, I have cohorts, I have totals, I have funnel reports, HubSpot, Salesforce, I got them all. But I use my Excel in order to actually understand my KPIs, my goals, and where I have drops in the funnel and where I have things to improve on. I keep it manually, do it myself in order to understand the data and understand the gaps. So I recommend not dropping Excel. So you can put it on dashboards are cool, but don't fall in love with them. So that's kind of the point. Still own your own data. Still know every step on the KPI. If you won't know it by heart, not by a dashboard, you won't find the leaks. And our job is to find the leaks. So the 3 things: one-to-one advertising via Inflow2, keep doing online VIP events, be the industry leaders, be the thought leaders, do contact-based acquisition. You can use Facebook, you can use Google. Obviously, you need to send the pixels to them. It's not something to quit or not take interest in, but be focused and minded on a content-based acquisition and understanding who's that contact who came in. Terms of 3 things stop doing is stop gating your website content. Don't build SEO project without a conversion roadmap on them, and love your Excel. Don't trust your dashboards. Thank you so much.
Kobi, amazing. I've made my notes for the panel session. Everybody else, I suggest you do the same because really good content here. Adi, certainly last but definitely not least,